What's good, geeks? I'm Jake. I'm Gen X.
I'm Anna. I'm Gen Z.
And we are Generational Geeks. So before we get started on today's video, we're going to be talking about Star Wars. But before we do,
we made a cake.
Aubrey and Anna made a cake.
You helped. You cut the cones.
Yeah, I did cut the cones. They made a cake and decorated it.
It's
and it
4
looks
tiers.
Really good. And the picture is coming now.
It's 4 tiers. The trees are sugar cones, covered in green frosting using a star tip, and the outside of the cake is just white buttercream.
And Anna made a fox.
I made a little fox out of white fondant, and then using a toothpick, I went in with black food coloring and put dots for the eyes and the nose.
So one thing we want to do is maybe do some cooking, baking
that
videos.
was our first cake.
Yes.
So
look for more of these in the future.
Yes.
And with that, we will get started on our Star Wars. What?
And the snow was powdered sugar.
Oh, yeah.
Sifted over the top.
So Star Wars.
Star Wars.
So Disney... Oh, before we get started, there will be spoilers for the last few episodes of The Mandalorian.
I think it's the
second
last 3.
season. Just say second season of The Mandalorian. So if you don't want spoilers for the second season...
You probably already have them if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, and it's only like the last quarter of this video, so you can watch for a while.
Yeah.
But once we
get to it, we'll say.
Oh, it could be halfway through. Yeah, we'll bring it up, but watch it. Spoilers aren't that big. Like Anna said, you've probably seen it and seen the spoilers.
If you're on the internet.
Yes. So Disney did their Investors Day event on Thursday the 10th, and they shared a ton of new content that they're going to be bringing out over the next several years. And we are going to be talking about the Star Wars stuff in this one, and then we're going to do another video where we talk about the MCU stuff. So if you're watching this and it's been out for a couple days, chances are the MCU one is out also, so check that one out too. So we're going to talk about Star Wars stuff, and we'll start with things that we know are coming out sooner rather than later. So...
The Bad Batch! They released a very short, very exciting trailer for this animated series and said it will be released sometime next year, which is only a month away.
That's true. Probably more like the second half of next year, but
I'm still excited.
Yeah, we're definitely excited. This is going to be done in the same Clone Wars animation.
Yes.
And the Bad Batch, they were introduced in the last season of the Clone Wars, which came out the beginning of this year, and
they had 4 episodes.
Middle of this year, and they had the first 4 episodes.
All Tutans.
Yes.
We are definitely looking forward to this.
Yeah. Next thing is an Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and this one they've actually put out a little bit of information that we didn't have before, and they did say that this is going to take place about 10 years. After the events of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and it's going to be produced and directed by Deborah Chow, and she has directed 1 or 2 episodes of a bunch of shows that I watch, and I didn't realize it. So she directed an episode of The Mandalorian, she directed some Better Call Saul, Jessica Jones, Fear the Walking Dead, Man in the High Castle. So we know it's going to be good. So it should be pretty good. I looked at some of the ratings for the episodes that she directed, and they're up there, depending on the show. If it's a show that doesn't necessarily get good ratings to begin with, her ratings aren't great, but the shows that are well reviewed, the episodes that she does have been pretty well received. So we'll see what happens. They did announce that they're starting production in March of 2021 for this, and Ewan McGregor is back as Obi-Wan Kenobi, and we've known that for a while, and they let us know that Hayden Christensen is coming back as well to play Vader. And something that I read today was saying that he will be not always shown in his suit. So I don't know if they're going to do some memory scenes. What are those called? Flashbacks. If they're going to do some flashbacks, and he's going to be
memory scenes.
He's going to be, portrayed as Anakin without the suit before the battle. And they also did say that there's going to be the rematch of the century between Obi-Wan and Anakin. So I don't know what exactly that means either.
Well, is it going to be Obi-Wan and Anakin or Obi-Wan and Vader?
Exactly. Well, yeah.
Because they're the same person, but they're
right.
two separate people.
Yes. So
if that makes sense.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
That one should be good.
Yeah.
From what's come out about it. Next up is the Andor series. This is going to be is it a series or a movie?
It's a series. And one thing I did want to say about the Obi-Wan is they talked about it being initially like a trilogy, and now they're saying it's going to be a limited series that is only like 6 hours long. So I don't know what exactly that means, if it's going to be, an 8 episode, 1 season shot and it's done, or if they're going to be 1 hour episodes and they'll have 6 episodes. So I did see that Andor, since you're talking about that one, it's going to be 12 episodes.
Okay.
So
are they all going to be an hour?
The first season. I don't know.
Okay. So this is a Rogue One prequel that will be released on Disney Plus in 2022. As we all know, Rogue One is a lot better than the recent Disney outputs of Star Wars.
Rogue One is one of the better Disney movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Disney also released a first look type trailer, and it's mainly like a behind the scenes, like what goes on. A
lot of the puppeteer stuff.
The puppeteering, the special effects, stuff like that. So it's not necessarily a trailer, but it was still cool to see. Yeah. It began production in late November and brings back Diego Luna to reprise his role as the rebel agent.
Andor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say. Want to make sure. Yeah. And Alan, I don't know how because it's spelt weird. His name is...
Well, the guy that did the voice.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The guy that did the voice.
Alan Tudyk? I don't know.
We're not trying to be rude. We literally just don't know how to pronounce his name. Voicing his droid scenes. So, droids.
Which droid?
Droids.
K2SO.
Yeah, droids. Just droids.
Yes.
Okay, droids. So we don't know much about the plot other than that it takes place 5 years before the events of Rogue One, obviously. But
yeah, spoilers for Rogue One, they all die.
Yeah. But if you haven't seen it at this point, what are you even doing? So it's supposed to be like a spy thriller type series.
Yeah.
That's all we know.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be a lot of behind enemy lines type stuff. And
K2SO, Andor, that's all you gotta know.
For me, I'm hoping for the best. This isn't necessarily a series that I wanted to see, but I'm still gonna go into it with an open mind and watch it. And
especially if it has good reviews.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably watch it as it comes out, so we won't be waiting for the reviews. We may be doing the reviews. But hopefully it's good. His character was okay in the movie, but we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see what they throw in there. Plus, this kind of takes place around the same time as Rebels kicked off. 5 years before, the Battle of Yavin.
BBY.
Yeah. So we'll see. That the Rebels, it shows in there that the animated series Rebels, it shows that the rebellion really started about 5 years before that. And if this takes place 5 years before that, then this could show them starting off as a small cell.
Yeah.
And then expanding into, the rebel cause. And it'll be interesting to see if it has like Saw Gerrera and stuff like that that they've showed in some of the other stuff. So
I'm excited. I know he's not as excited as I am, but I'm excited.
Yeah. So
it's Star Wars.
The next live action that they talked about was
Ahsoka Tano.
Ahsoka. She's getting her own live action series. Rosario Dawson's gonna come back. She was introduced, in episode 4 of season 2, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
Something like that. But middle of season 2, and I really liked that episode. It
was titled The Jedi. That's all I remember.
Yeah. So another new series is titled The Rangers of the New Republic, and it will probably be starring Gina Carano as Cara Dune. That's kind of what they're leading us to believe.
Yeah.
They did, spoilers for Mandalorian, they did show that she got an official title in the New Republic, and we'll see what happens. So both of these shows are set in the same timeline as The Mandalorian, and they said that there will be they will all culminate into a climactic story event. So I don't know if that means that they're all going to end at that time, or if they're going to, just do like a crossover event,
like
and then they all go back, doing their separate things again, and they continue on with, more seasons and whatever. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. I know we're still a few years out on either one of those, so.
I mean, what do you think of the Ahsoka series finally coming?
I think it'll be good. If we keep the right people in charge of it and keep the wrong people out of it, I think it'll be really good. So, yeah.
As we saw in that episode titled The Jedi, as I had previously mentioned, Ahsoka is looking for Grand Admiral Thrawn, wchiss. Is that how you say it? I think
blue-skinned, red-eyed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was in the Rebels
that was in
animated
Rebels.
series.
And if you haven't seen Rebels, or I guess some people just don't care about the animated stuff.
Right.
So they're like, who's Grand Admiral Thrawn? Why do I care? Since Thrawn was last seen with the Jedi, or I guess he's basically a Padawan. I mean, he wasn't...
Ezra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a Padawan, but he's still powerful in the Force. He was last seen with Ezra Bridger, but I think Ahsoka's hunt for Thrawn could also be a hunt for Ezra.
Yeah, I think that's why she's looking for Thrawn. So
for information on Ezra, or to see if they're together, or just what's going on there. And Filoni and Jon Favreau could be sending a spin-off series that could serve as a sequel to Star Wars Rebels through the plot of The Mandalorian. And
yes,
I am excited for that.
Yeah.
I am here for that. I support that.
Yeah, definitely. So The Mandalorian, like I said, has been setting up Gina Carano to do her own spin-off. The same episode as The Jedi. At the end, Mando goes and searches out... No, I guess it was the episode after The Jedi. He went back and talked to Cara Dune.
Yeah.
And she was... she was a New Republic Marshal for that sector. And because they had talked about... an X-Wing pilot had said that there was some stuff going on in the Outer Rim, and it had to do with the Empire, and they were trying to amass
really
their power. So they needed some
hands-on people.
Yeah, some experienced people kind of out there looking for the bad shenanigans going on. So could be interesting. And it'll be interesting to see what they do with it, if it'll really just focus on Cara Dune, if that's who they're setting it up for, or if it's going to be like a team of Rangers and it just kind of shows, maybe 3 or 4 episode arcs with different Rangers.
That would be fun.
That would be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd like that.
We'll see what happens.
More Cara Dune totally for that.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Yeah, definitely.
So a few other things that we don't really have a lot of information about is the Acolyte, which is a female-led Star Wars series written and produced by Leslie Headland. Is that how you say your last name?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm so bad with names.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how I feel about her because I don't know if you remembered me showing you that video. She's the one that was in an interview and she's like, oh, I want to meet Kathleen Kennedy and I want to do a Star Wars thing. And they're like, oh, really? What's your favorite Star Wars movie? And she's like, I just love them all. I just can't pick a favorite. So we'll see. I hope they do a good job with it. And she was, what's his face's, like personal assistant.
No.
No, the guy that went to jail for the Me Too thing.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, not Favreau.
No. Yeah. But, so we'll see what happens. Yeah. I hope it's good.
Me too. It's going to be taking place at the end of the High Republic, and if you don't know what an acolyte is, it's like I would say Ventress, but like I said, not everyone cares about the anime.
Right.
Stuff.
So it's an acolyte is not necessarily a Sith. They're used by the Sith Lords. Because
there's only 2 Sith.
Right. They're used by the Sith Lords, and they basically do the bidding of one of the 2 or both Siths. Mm-hmm. But they do have some Force abilities. They do have red lightsabers.
Yeah. So in the case of Ventress,
who was in the
Darth
Clone Wars?
Tyrannus Dooku was the apprentice of Sidious, and Ventress was basically Dooku's apprentice, but she was called an acolyte because there was only 2 Sith allowed at a time. And
those acolytes aren't given any of the Sith secrets.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're kind of kept in the dark.
They're still cool,
and they may or may not even know anything about the Sith.
Yeah.
You know, it depends on how much
that
Sith Lord wants to keep them in the dark. They may not tell them anything. So, and then the High Republic era is kind of an era that hasn't ever been touched on before. Supposedly it starts, 200 to 300 years before the Phantom Menace. So if this is going to take place towards the end of the High Republic era, then that could put it, maybe a couple decades before the Phantom Menace, maybe 50 years. It's hard to say. So we could actually see Darth Plagueis's master, or Darth Plagueis's master, or Darth Sidious's master, who it's not canonized, I don't think, but it's Plagueis.
For a while it was canon.
Well, they never officially made it canon. And there's a good book out there called Plagueis.
I think that's what I'm going off. But...
So Darth Sidious was the emperor, and his master in Legends is
Darth Plagueis.
Darth Plagueis. And
that's why it's like, have you ever heard the Legend of Darth Plagueis? I didn't expect you to. It's not when the Jedi would
they could potentially have Darth Plagueis in the Acolyte show.
I think that'd be
this
cool.
Could be a female Acolyte of Darth Plagueis. So I don't know. Cool. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, because it could be another Dooku Sidious situation where Plagueis has an Acolyte at his side training as an apprentice.
Yeah.
So I think I hope it'll be cool.
Yeah. Rogue Squadron.
Directed by WOman?
Wonder Woman.
Wonder
1984.
In our script, all he said was WOman.
I ran out of space.
So I was like, 1984's director Patty Jenkins. It will be released in theaters around Christmas of 2023.
Yeah. So if this is anything like what it was in the video games and Rogue Squadron of the books, this is going to be a squadron of X-Wing fighters that's led by Luke Skywalker. So,
and with the High Republic, I know for a while they were. So for people who don't know, George Lucas's vision for another trilogy was to have Darth Talon be the main villain. Wasn't it Darth Talon and Darth Maul?
Yeah. Darth Talon was going to kind of play the role that Darth Vader played in the original trilogy. So she's going to kind of be like the enforcer and the main antagonist. But
her storyline jumps around like so much. Like she was I'm pretty sure at one point she was associated with the Old Republic and with Revan and stuff.
I don't know that she
like in the same, not associated with him, but in the same timeline.
Yeah, I don't know. She's kind of one of those characters that has been all over the place and never been canonized, and I think
I really want her to be.
That would be cool if she ended up being the Dark Acolyte.
Yeah. So
and then
speculation.
The last thing that we're going to talk about is a new Lando movie. So they haven't said if it's going to be young Lando or old Lando, but it's going to be a new event series, which I don't necessarily know what an event series is either. Is that like something that's going to happen
during Christmas?
Or maybe during like
Halloween?
May 4th? Star Wars Day? I don't know. And I don't know if it's going to be how many episodes, what it's going to be about. Like I said, we don't know if it's old Lando or new
really
Lando.
Anything.
So, and then a show called Visions, and it's an original series of animated short films to celebrate Star Wars Galaxy through the lens of the world's best Japanese anime creators, and that's coming in 2021.
I think I mean, it sounds interesting.
Yeah. I mean,
animes,
I've seen some anime drawings of Star Wars characters, and they're really good.
Animes are hard to get wrong because you have like so much to work with, and like you don't have actors that like physically can't do something. So, right. I mean, it's like the case of Clone Wars. Yeah. There's just so much you have to work with that it just ends up doing really well most of the time. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's bad animes out there, don't get me wrong, but it's harder to mess it up when it's already in an associated universe, so.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, they put out a lot of good information. I hope that it'll be good execution of that information. I'm gonna stay positive.
I'm gonna try to stay positive.
We will watch these things as they come out.
Of course.
And we will give you our unbiased. Well, I'm biased.
I'm biased.
Yeah. We'll give you our biased opinion, but we'll tell you that it's biased.
Well, we'll give you our biased opinion, but it will be full of logic.
It'll be our honest opinion.
Honest opinion. And an opinion that will make sense. It's not just going to be random. We'll give you reasons why our opinion is what it is. There we go.
Yes, exactly.
So it's not just going to be like, I didn't like it, or I liked it.
Or that sucks.
Yeah, and then nothing else. Just cut the cameras, we're done. So, with that, like, comment, subscribe, share us with your friends, with your family, with your grandma. We're a family-friendly channel. So.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. I'm Gen X.
I'm Gen Z.
And we are Generational Geeks.